President Trump and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth visited Norfolk, Virginia over the weekend to celebrate the U.S. Navy's 250th birthday.
Trump gave a speech where he praised the Navy for its accomplishment. He also took a little bit of time to bash the Democrats for their role in the government shutdown.
But we have to take care of this little gnat that's on our shoulder called the Democrats. They want to give all of our money to illegal aliens that pour into the country. And, you know, I have a bigger heart than they do. But the problem is when you do that, they come in by the millions.
Some people on the left, and I guess also the right, did feel that Trump's comments were not in good taste. Jonah Goldberg, editor-in-chief of The Dispatch, writes on X, "If you don't understand why this insanely partisan language in front of uniformed servicemen is beyond the pale and deeply dangerous, I'm not sure I can explain it to you." It's kind of a never Trump, I'm not sure, conservative person, but go ahead.
Pete Hegseth also gave a speech at the celebration where he again went after DEI practices in the military. Let's watch.
Your diversity is not your strength. Your strength is your unity of purpose, your shared mission, your love of country.
Former Vice Chairman of the DNC, David Hogg, says of Hegseth's comments, quote, "Not only is it historically and factually inaccurate, but it is also deeply irresponsible. From the critical role of female spies played in the American Revolution to the Navajo code talkers in our World War II, our diversity has and always remains one of our nation's greatest strengths."
Okay. What was wrong with this typical Donald Trump bashing Democrats speech? What is wrong with it?
The military is comprised of Americans that are on independents, Democrats, Republicans across the aisle, and they are trying to fight for our country. And so the point of a speech there should not be how to sow more division within people that might not align with you ideologically. The goal is that when most people come together is to protect our country, and these people are doing some of the most noble jobs in our country by keeping us all safe. And so it's like, who comes there to figure out how to make people, like, the whole military doesn't have to be Republican. So by going there and railing off on these social issues that are not really at the top of mind when you're thinking about saving a country, is so random and inappropriate that it's just like, find some other time to not be. President Trump has used every moment as a campaign speech. Try to find a time to not make it a campaign. Charlie Kirk's funeral, memorial service, he used it to campaign. He talked about tariffs and how Charlie Kirk would have supported it. He talked about how much he hates Democrats. Here with the military, that's not supposed to be partisan, he's talking about DEI and how much he hates Democrats. It's like, come on now, be a leader. Be a leader. You're calling the entire military in two different instances over the last 2 weeks.
Military likes DEI, so they're all happy.
Yeah, that's a broad general overstatement. That's a broad general overstatement.
You couldn't find two people who
one,
agree with it.
And then somebody in the control room.
DEI.
Yes, I love it. My favorite thing in the world. Okay, so it's just.
Have you ever had to sit through these?
The point I did.
Diversity training
I actually
seminars?
led the DEI team at my last
yourself.
job. Nope, it was wonderful.
God.
It was beautiful. We taught people how to get rid of their implicit bias that makes people like myself uncomfortable at work for no reason,
bias,
or explicit bias.
Validity, and in fact makes people more likely to harbor racial.
No, it got a lot better. So I disagree. It's because I've been on a board of people that have done it before and implemented it in the workplace. I think everybody had better understanding.
Studies of the bias test have shown there is no validity to this concept, and that it makes people more racially resentful when you call out these things.
So passive aggressive statements about race, about things that you know nothing about.
You don't think it's paternalizing and passive aggressive to sit people down and explain to them why internally they have racism like some disease they've breathed in through the air?
No, I think why DEI is great, especially in a workplace, is because somebody may genuinely just be talking and not realize that they're being deeply offensive to somebody who's of, let's say, a different background when it comes to disability, when it comes to upbringing, when it comes to race, when it comes to socioeconomic status. And so when you understand that these differences are sometimes very sensitive topics, then maybe you have more care with your words when you work in an open environment. And I think that it definitely is meaningful for people to understand those nuances, because perhaps you grew up a little bit privileged, or perhaps you grew up when you weren't never around anybody disabled. So maybe you'll stop staring at the person with the wheelchair going down the hall and making them feel uncomfortable because you have been so sheltered that you have never seen somebody like that. And so I don't think that that's a bad thing.
Sanitized, non-human, boring, like
so human is making other people uncomfortable who are in different environments.
Walking on eggshells all the time.
That's not walking on eggshells.
It's
to understand how people who are disabled feel, and to learn how they feel, since you haven't had anybody disabled, let's say in your family or direct contact, your best friend is not disabled, so to understand their perspective.
If I ran a company and I truly hated my employees and I wanted them to suffer, I would make them do DEI training. But that does it for us on Rising Live today. That thing's doing some things over there. Look out for more exclusive YouTube content coming your way today. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the Hill's YouTube channel so you never miss any of our content. And we'll be back tomorrow. We're just getting started this week. See you then.
Our set's going on.